Hey there, welcome back to the conversation on divine union. So we're almost to a closing of this download, and we were just talking about in the previous video about those levels of maturity that we're moving into as we continue to evolve spiritually from the conscious relationships, sacred partnerships, and into divine union. So I ended the last one with, that recognition that when we're coming into the divine union stage, we're holding the divine, literally the divine frequencies, our own divinity in connection with God, with Source, in us, and the partnership, the union is supportive, right? So the light is getting cloudy. It's cloudy out here. Let me see if I can just move this a little. That changes it. So we're reflecting this back and forth, but ultimately we're needing to find those balancing qualities within ourselves so that we're not reliant on an external person, and yet our partner at this stage will be a harmonious balance, right? Will be a harmonious alchemy that the elements and the qualities of being, the the yin and yang expressions, the like one person might be more introverted, the other person might be more extroverted, but it's in the right mix, right? It's like this perfect alchemical recipe that allows not so much working on our issues anymore. And I'm not saying that that's not part of it, but the work on the issues is like totally different because we're not healing them, right? We're just upgrading. It's like this new levels of upgrading into higher states of being together. And the frequencies that we talked about that are taking root, they first start to take root individually, and then they're merged into that integration of union with the divine, okay, with our soul, with our deep knowings. So it goes on to say here that at this stage, we continue to choose our divine alignment and open to divine guidance that keeps us on our pure path. Okay? So that level of right relationship that we touched on in the last video, that becomes this right relationship with everything. When we're right with ourselves, when we're living from our own truth and integrity, we can see more clearly what those higher right choices are that are going to bring in more love, more fulfillment, more integrity, more creativity, deeper love, opening up to more of an expanded love, because we're starting to move from that personal love into a divine love. And that's very impersonal. So it's it's more of this neutrality, and it's more expansive, and it's lighter. It's got a lighter frequency, but it brings us more into, we could say, bliss states of being, as one example. So as we choose our divine alignment, in the sacred partnership, we're learning to listen to our truth and to honor our journey, and to know that our partner is also on their unique journey. And that may or may not always feel in alignment. It may grow out of alignment, because we may grow into different lessons and teachings for our evolution that cannot be done together, right? So we start learning how to negotiate that and navigate those needs, so to speak. But as we move into this divine union, on a soul level, our blueprint is already deeply activated. And as our individual blueprint is activated, there's like a signature, right? There's a signature frequency that will naturally match the frequency of our beloved. And that's part of what starts to draw the divine unions together. Is, because both individuals can have, both are still moving through certain stages of development. They might be the same, they might be different. But the pure path, right? Our pure path is when our blueprint is now, we've got a beacon, right? We've got a soul signature that has the appropriate aligned divine match of our divine counterpart. So in the first little video of this series, I touched on the twin flame. And it may or may not be the twin flame. It often is, I think, seen as that, because when we look at a twin flame, we're looking at one soul that has divided and has gone on their lifetimes of journeys and come back together, gone away, come back together, gone away. And eventually that soul reunion or that soul union will take place. So there are different ways of working with this, and I'm hesitating here because I feel like it's a different topic in and of itself, and I don't really go in that direction exactly. But it is important to incorporate it so that we have a better context. So in that situation, the soul frequency will be the same, because it's the same soul that has chosen in, masculine, feminine, elementally expressed beings to travel through space and time, moving their way from the inside back to God, rather than trying to get to God from the outside, right? They're harmonizing and balancing and finding God within, and what are the things that keep us from God, from that wholeness, the ultimate wholeness. So I have a whole other series that prefaces all of this from about 4 years ago, and I may or may not bring that out. That's more so for people who are wanting to do this deeper work, but in sessions or in intensives. So, so there's always a movement back to the divine, because that's where we originally separated from. And through those realms of separation, we individuated into different elemental configurations, which we will call the polarities of the masculine and feminine principles. So a twin flame, they're kind of going through their own journeys, but yet they mirror each other because they're the same soul. So there's going to be known or unknown of who they are or where they are in the world, or even if it exists or not. There's going to be these kind of parallel journeys in some ways. And that frequency is the frequency of their wholeness. Okay? It is the signature of their wholeness that is communicating. Now, in divine union, it can be the same or very similar. I'm not going to say anything in absolutes because we are navigating really uncharted territories, and I believe that it can be very different for everybody, and we learn as we go along this trajectory, right? We don't really get a lot of embodied wisdom knowing until we get there. So at this stage, we continue to choose our divine alignment, right? We continue to follow our signature, our truth. For me, doing these teachings is following my signature. It's following my divine alignment, because most of this has been very private for a long time. But now I'm being told, okay, it's time to start bringing this out, to find those people who are ready for this path or this next level or these stages of development. And so when we're here, we're going to always choose our truth, and we're going to know our truth because we're connected with that clearer guidance, and that guidance is going to keep us on our pure path. Our pure path is going to continue to reveal and to activate and to increase, so to speak, our soul signature frequency. And so when it's time, when it's ordained by the divine, when it is time for two counterparts to come into union, their frequencies are going to be like this fit, that it's going to be like home. It's going to feel right. It's going to feel like each counterpart is deeply seen and known and held and understood, no matter what road they've traveled, where they've been, right? Things that they've done, healing that they had to go through. And whatever is still needing to be harmonized, there's a capacity then to do this next leveling together. And it increases all of our energetics from the higher dimensions and anchors them onto this plane, while simultaneously lifting this plane of the 3D up into, say, the 5D. So divine unions are a template that is a brand new relational system to heal, to bring healing through all of these stages, through all of these distortions and polarities and woundings of the masculine and feminine principles that have gone on through thousands of years. This template is now anchoring more fully to support not just the healing of the individual unions, but the consciousness of the planet, okay, of how we have lived in a relationship. So that's kind of a long segue there. So it's going to keep us on a pure path. So this is going to spill out into all areas of life where we're able to cast, right? We're going to know on those deep soul, heart, soul levels what is right and true, right? Here's my desire. Here's what I'm feeling and sensing from my soul. I'm going to send it out to the universe. I'm going to send it out to the divine, and I'm going to let go. It's not my business anymore because I trust in this deep alignment and wisdom of God, Goddess, of divine source. I don't know if you guys can hear this. I'm going to wrap this up. To reflect to us our highest good choices. And we're going to be acting from that coherence and maintaining this said coherence of self while in union, while holding complementary polarities that support one another, that balance one another, that continue to illuminate our highest selves, our highest expressions to one another. So this kind of goes back to, talking about we naturally want to bring forth our highest expression, our highest good. We want to show our good sides. And it's not like we do this. It's like it wants to come through because love brings that through. So what we're doing at this level now is we're remembering this is who we are, and our counterpart continues to reflect this back to us. We're being shown and continuously revealed as our highest nature. And when we fall and when we slip, or when we're in places of, wounding, or maybe, coming more into that small self, that's okay. It's just part of the process. And we both know that at this stage. We understand there's going to be dips of our humanness. And we're there to hold that space, not to fix or to save, but to love unconditionally. Right? To know ourselves, know our other, know that we're both holding the same desire and the same level of devotion to love, to harmony, to joy, right? To celebration, to deep connection in God and each other. So this is kind of this initial overview, and that's all we're going to do today. There are definitely nuances that I might tease apart. I've got a lot more guidance, but I'll see what feels appropriate at any given time and space and what I'm guided to offer. But we want to just to know that, again, things are not just as they seem. Relationships as we've known it are not just to stay stagnant in these ways where, I'm content and I still have, kind of secrets, and I have things that I don't really reveal completely to my beloved, and I don't feel completely safe, or they don't feel completely safe with me, or, and I'm not saying that that's wrong if that's the path that you've chosen and if that's your karma. But if you feel a call to this deeper, more expansive expression, all of that goes by the wayside. We step into deeper communion with self and with the other because we desire greater and higher joy and higher love. And the world is calling for that now. So this is for all of you. All right. Reach out if you have questions. I'm totally interested in any questions, any experiences, any clarifications that you want to bring, or, that you're seeking, in the comments for sure, because this is it's a deep, beautiful, beautiful place that we're moving towards. And I know so many are literally awakening their heart space into this, are shifting paradigms in their past life that has just or is closing into a very new reality. So, love and blessings. Bye.